Hi, hello, how are you? And thank you for continuing to support me over on my shop, which is a page over on Facebook where you can go to the services tab and book readings with me. I really appreciate that. You can book astrology charts with me where I personally hand draw a chart for you of your astrology chart. Um, you can book all sorts of divination readings with me, with the numerology Dungeons and Dragons dice reading that is coming soon. And yeah, you can also book shadow work sessions and magical tips sessions, all kinds of things. So go over to my Facebook page, the link is down below. Check the services tab and look at all the services that I offer. And thank you so much in advance. And thank you to everyone who continues to book those services. So, with that out of the way, hi, hello, how are you? This is a ramble video, as is my content. And are you crooked? Let's see. Is that better? Is the world looking crooked to you? Okay, anyway. um, yes, this is a video about structuring your path. And, up front, when someone says anything about structuring their spirituality, I'm very much against it. And have always been just a person who fights against structure that is imposed on me. Uh, and I think a lot of us can relate to that, kind of sentiment. Uh, I don't like being told what to do or what guidelines to stay in. I want to figure out things for myself, explore every alley that is available to me, and then make my own decisions about what streets I want to take from there on out. You know what I mean? But for some people, structure really helps and really works. And some people like being given structure. And so this video is definitely for those people, but it is also for newbies who have no idea where to jump into when looking into paganism or just magic in general. But then also, it is for people like myself who have been in this for many years. Many years. When I when I think about how long I've been doing this, it's crazy to think that I've been doing this for over a decade. I've been doing this for over a decade and a half. That's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot. And that's just my adulthood. We're not even counting the teen years, because then it's like we're at 20, 21 years. Ugh. Uh, Anywho, it's for people like that who have, gone down this road, who have a good understanding of magic and what they believe and how they work magic, how they interact with energy, but who are maybe at a point where they're realizing that in order to go deeper in magic, you kind of have to focus in on one kind of magic or certain types of magic. You need to like tighten your focus. So if that makes sense, that is what this is for. These three types of people, which is essentially everyone. And so, with that said, regardless of where your entry level is at in terms of magic or witchcraft or what have you, I think that, yes, spreading your arms out wide and gathering as much information as possible is very important in the beginning. And it is always important, but especially in the beginning, you know? You need to try out all the forms of divination you can think of. Try oracle cards, try tarot cards, try ogham, try runes, try pendulums. Try everything. Try throwing the bones. Try everything, and see what feels good to you. And that goes with cleansing and smudging. Uh, do you do it with smoke? Do you do it just with your mind? Do you do it with light? Do you do it with water? How do you cleanse spaces? Uh, and then we get into the topic of, do you incorporate gods and spirits into your practice? And if so, which ones? What pantheon? Are you mixing pantheons and cultures? You know, all of that does take some exploration and time. However, I think if you really want to deepen magic into a place where it's really hard to even describe, because it is so cerebral, so esoteric, so non-corporal. It's hard to explain, if that makes sense. But if you want to get to that place where you're learning things that aren't even in books, because, I mean, no matter how many books you get, they're essentially all kind of the same. And essentially, they're really all the same. There's really not new magic books being put out with new material that I haven't already had in another book. And if you want things that go deeper than that, you need to kind of tighten your focus. And you can do that, as I said, like by deciding, I'm going to, focus on this way of doing this. Cleansing, divination. Pick one divination style and really hone in on it, attack it, and, just learn everything you can and deepen your connection with it. I think a lot of people get caught up in buying like 9 different decks of tarot cards. We've all done that. But you rob yourself of an experience when you don't just have one deck. This is my deck. This is what I use over and over and over and over and over. You deepen a connection to that deck, and you deepen a connection to tarot at large, and that's when you start to learn arcana. You know what I mean? You start to learn secret language, secret magic. You dive deeper that way. And it goes for the same of working with spirits or a pantheon at large. So like I myself work primarily with like a literary pantheon, which is very controversial. I work with the Arthurian characters and also with Robin Hood. And I do work with actual mythological gods as well, but usually those are gods that inspired these literary characters. So like Morgan Le Fay, the Morgan, etc. So anywho, by working just with those spirits over and over, like this has been going on for, as I said before, like 2 decades, that deepens your connection to that source. And you learn things about yourself, you learn things about how you perceive the world. Like I have advanced my psychic ability not through reading books about psychic ability, but just through communing with the Lady of the Lake over and over and over and establishing that relationship with her. It's kind of like she has given me these little like tidbits over the years. It's like, well, here's a reward for being, my friend. And working with spirits and gods for me is about approaching it as not what can I get from you, what can you bless me, give this to me. It's more like I approach it like a real life thing, like they're real people, and I try to give to them as much as they give to me. And I admit that as a human and as being raised the way we are to think about spirits and gods, I fall into that kind of like Abrahamic faith way of like praying and asking for things and like give me, give me, give me. So you really have to remind yourself to like, not just take and take and take. But anywho, we're spiraling into different places, but you know how we are on this channel. My point is, bottom line point, is that if you truly want to go deeper, fly higher, advance your sorcery in whatever terms you want to use, do that by focusing on certain aspects of sorcery and magic and witchcraft and what have you. Be it on just learning about lore, or I'm going to learn everything I can about candles and candle magic and colors. Like, just focus on certain things, not 8 different things. Focus on that and stop just jumping all over the place and learning about this, learning about this, learning about this, learning a little bit about everything. That's wonderful. As I said, there's a place for that. But if you want to go deeper, you've got to remind yourself to just focus on the things that really matter to you, that really pique your interest more than once. And that's the key. Does it pique your interest more than once, more than twice, more than 3 times? Are you still intrigued? That's something you should really pour your energy into. Okay? Anywho, thank you so much for watching and continuing to support me. As I said, my link tree is below, where you can find a link to my my Facebook, my Instagram, my TikTok, my Twitter, my spring shop, where you can buy stuff like shirts. So thank you so much, and goodbye.